Ladies and gentlemen, nerds and neckbeards.
Nerds and neckbeards.
Welcome to another edition of Westeros Wheneverly. Today we are going to be talking about Season 7, Episode 4.
Still on the show.
And you're loving it. You know you are.
I'm loving it.
It's so
good. Did you see that dragon battle? Okay, we're getting ahead.
Calm
we're
yourself.
getting out over the skis here.
Calm yourself. The episode was entitled...
Spoils of War.
Spoils of War.
Although, did you get a weird glitch? Because I got a glitch on my HBO that said 64. It gave me like a number and like weird jargon. And I was like, oh, that can't be right.
No, that's not right.
And so then I pressed play. And so I was like, I don't know what the name of the episode is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, I had to find out what it was today.
So what are we drinking today, Tana?
Oh, Dave. Oh, but before we do the drink of the day, can I tell you something?
Yeah, please.
Look at my headphones. Look at these guys.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Aren't they gorgeous?
They're like, they got some nice black accents
like some nice
and some gold accents. And
bling over the little earmuff parts.
They're over the ear.
Studio.
Bluetooth wireless headphones. Studio.
Yeah.
Who's this?
So we were contacted by some headphone company that was like, hey, you should try our stuff.
Yeah.
And so we are. And Dave is our tech guy.
We are now official sellouts.
Yeah. Look at us, man.
We've made it.
Climbing the corporate ladder.
We've arrived. We are official podcasters now.
Can I say I'm frankly shocked that Blue Curacao has not underwritten our entire...
I know, right?
Like, this
for reals.
How much Blue Curacao have we sold for these guys?
Probably a lot. Yeah.
But it's because it comes from the heart.
There was a great comment left on the Podbean app, actually, about our podcast. And they said, this is becoming my new favorite podcast. And I really love sitting along and drinking to you. And then it was like, but we don't own a gallon of Blue Curacao. So we often make our own drinks. So, yeah, Blue Curacao, if you're listening, step up like Studio did.
No, actually, I take it back. We don't need them to sponsor us. We have so much.
Yeah, fair enough.
We never need them to give us any free Blue Curacao.
Anyway, big shout outs to Studio. They sent us some cool headphones to try out.
So I'm wearing them right now. And
wear them?
They're pretty comfortable. The sound quality is very good. So I have a pair. The only thing I know about headphones is that Kirsten got me a pair for Christmas.
Oh yeah?
Because she's so cute. Yeah, and they're the only kind that I've ever used. And these are nice.
Oh my God.
So you got to mix it up, Dave.
Sorry, continue talking about that. I wasn't saying anything about the headphones, but this drink. Jesus.
So I'm doing, if you guys were with us for our Westeros Windblown drink, then you'll know that I really like doing separation.
Now it looks like shit, though.
It does. I mean, it's going to be sort of like a muddy brown is what it's going to turn into. The name of the drink today, very on point. Do you know what it is, Dave? Sex on the Beach Cave.
Sex on the Beach Cave.
I was like, this is so perfect. I just wanted them to make out in that stupid cave so much. Just kiss already, you two. Just kiss already.
God. Just do it.
Yeah, and so I was I know. I immediately knew what our drink of the week was.
Did you think Danny was going to be like, did you draw these pictures, John?
Yes. I mean, I was looking for like the chalk on his hands, to be like, it's just, you should come check this out.
I'll tell you this, it's much better now that it's mixed up.
Yeah, so
it's way better.
So what we have is it's striated layers at the bottom. There is pomegranate juice. So you're in a traditional sex on the beach drink. A lot of this was what college tasted like for me. Okay. Because it is a mostly juice drink, right? So before you're good at drinking, like
you did Sex on the Beach with like a lot of females. That what the deal was.
It has a fun name, right? So you order Sex on the Beach because I don't know, that's what you do. I don't know, in your 20s, and then but it's a base of orange juice and cranberry juice, and then vodka, and then the sweetener in it is peach schnapps.
Okay.
And so you end up with this very peachy, very fruity, kind of tropical, but very juice-heavy drink. And so I'm modifying that for us today, and I'm making it a little Westeros Wheneverly fancy.
I like it.
Yeah.
I actually like it. It tastes kind of good.
Yeah, so we've got, at the bottom, there's pomegranate juice instead of cranberry juice.
Okay.
There's a layer of orange juice with a little bit of pulp.
Yep.
So it's like a red layer, and then an orange layer, and then a Blue Curacao layer. So there is...
Yes, that whole thing is Blue Curacao?
So, yes.
That's more than a layer,
No,
Tana.
so that's not the whole thing. So you do 1 ounce of vodka.
Okay.
Clear vodka, regular vodka.
Yep.
1 ounce of... you're supposed to use peach schnapps, but I didn't have any. But you and I both had a nip of 99 peaches. So I used 99 peaches instead. I apologize for the headache you're going to have tomorrow. And so vodka, 99 peaches, and which is just a grain alcohol. It's a peach grain alcohol. It's bad. And then a splash of Blue Curacao, a half an ounce of Blue Curacao. And I shook the hell out of it. I put it in our Westeros Wheneverly mug. I've been watching these bar renovations and bar rehab shows during the day.
Bar Rescue?
Yeah, like Bar Rescue. And there's another one, Booze. Oh, it's like on Food Channel, and Booze Traveler. That's what it's called, Booze Traveler. And I was like, that is a very clever name. And anyway, there was a lot of like shaking and, you know, really putting a lot of air into the alcohol and making this sort of like the ice just sort of infused with this flavor. So I put all the boozes over ice in our shaker, our Westeros Wheneverly shaker, and I shook the hell out of it. And then I poured it over the pomegranate juice and the orange juice. And then so you end up with this blue layer at the top. And it looks very tropical, but all the booze is sitting at the top of the juice.
And
so
tastes
you have
like
to
crap.
Mix it up.
Yep, you got to mix it up.
Yep, so you got to mix it up, which is what we're doing now. What did you think of that episode, Dave?
Oh, my God. I think I said this last time we podcasted where I had this, like, raging Game of Throner. And,
oh, Jon Snow had a raging throner inside that cave.
Oh, my God. First off, shortest episode of the season.
It really was. I was shocked by how short it was.
It was very short. But
All men must drink.
All men must drink. Good call.
All men must drink. And, one more thing. The Studio is the name of these headphones, and if you guys are interested in trying them, or you want, you know, our honest feedback about it, you can always email us at westeroswheneverly@gmail. And then there's a discount code if you want to buy products from these guys. It's Westeros 15.
Yep.
Yeah, and
you get 15% off. So
SUDIO, and we're happy to tell you what we think of them. No holds barred. So email us, and you can just email us questions too.
Yeah, absolutely. Or Twitter us at Worry W4RRI and at Tannaford.
Yeah,
it's very Tanna's is much simpler than mine.
This is delicious.
It's way much better.
This cheers,
once
man.
You mix
this
it up.
Tastes like like early college to me. This is how I started drinking. Oh, it's so bad. All men must drink.
All men must drink.
So
shortest episode we had this season.
Yeah, shortest up.
And you know, you really felt it because like it ends and you're kind of like, wait.
I couldn't tell.
There's like 8 minutes more, right?
I couldn't tell at first if it was just that like, you know, it was such a cliffhanger. And so I didn't know if maybe it felt shorter because I was like, whoa, what's going to happen with Jaime?
Yeah.
Speaking of, let's jump right in. What's going to happen with Jaime?
Oh, man. I mean, if we're going to start at the end and work our way backwards, which is fine with me.
We could just start with what's going to happen with Jaime.
He's sinking to the bottom of
He's covered in armor.
of the river.
You can't take off your own armor.
No, well,
like, you need somebody to take off your armor and put it on. Armor's not designed for a one person to put it on.
Bronn obviously knocks him over,
so
right?
Was
Saves
it Bronn?
his ass.
Kirsten and I couldn't tell.
It's Bronn.
I think I did watch it a second time, and it looks like it is Bronn because of the white horse and
exactly.
like his sleeve
Bronn,
looks like
right
Bronn's
after,
sleeve.
Right after Bronn shoots Drogon with the scorpion, and Drogon comes down, and is like all pissed off, destroys the scorpion.
Doesn't get incinerated.
Bronn rolls away to the side and sees this horse.
Yeah.
And then it cuts away from him, and it's on Jaime.
Yeah.
Holding a spear, or sees the spear, sees Dany, and says, "I'm going to end this war right now."
Yep.
And he, you know, some people are like, "He's going to kill the dragon. What an idiot!"
No.
He was going to kill Dany.
He was going to kill Dany. If you kill Dany,
war's over.
War's over.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's exactly what happened with the Blackfire Rebellion, but we won't get into that.
Well, we might have to because they did mention the Golden Company.
That's right.
So we might have to talk about this.
It's a short episode, but it's a juicy one, Dave.
Yes, it really is. It was jam packed.
How awesome was that fight scene? The Dothraki.
Oh my God!
Jumping up on the horses.
Only a fool would fight the Dothraki in an open field.
Bobby Baratheon, Big Bobby
B. Where you at?
Unlike Tyrion, he was a very competent commander. Oh, I'm jumping all over the place.
So back to Jaime.
Yeah,
Jaime's sinking. Bronn knocks him off the horse, saves him from.
Sinking.
Well, Bronn is not wearing armor. He's wearing leather.
Yeah.
So Bronn very easily can save Jaime at this point.
You think?
I think so.
Okay.
Now, the question is, what happens after that?
They're going to get captured.
Right? You think they're going to get captured?
I don't know.
I mean, a lot of people are like, well, they could just get up on the other side of the river. But yeah, and there's a fucking dragon there.
It's a huge river.
It is, but
it's a conveniently huge lake.
It's a conveniently gigantic lake, and they end up on the other side. And, oh, look, the Dothraki don't like crossing rivers, and Dany's not going over there alone, so I guess they make it escape.
No, I never even considered
that's a possibility, but more likely he gets captured.
He's going to get captured. We needed a little... We've had too many family reunions with these moody Stark children. We need to get a nice Lannister reunion. Because remember, God. Jaime, because... So
you think Jaime gets captured again?
Yeah.
he's
I have so much to say about Jaime. He did a great job fighting without a hand.
Yeah, he did.
He had like a sword. He was going, toe to toe with the Dothraki until Dickon saves him.
Yeah.
Is it Dickon?
Dickon.
So can I tell you Carson's nickname for him?
Dickon?
Do you know what it is? No.
Oh, what is it?
Westerosi Tom Brady. Look at that man again, and you're like, oh, I kind of.
That actor.
You squint, you can kind of see it.
That actor plays Billy in a Star show called The Black Sails. Or Black Sails, and he does a really good job. He's a pirate in that movie. But
I know Black Sails.
But when I watch this show, all I see is the pirate version of him. It's very confusing to my brain. But you're right. He is the Westerosi Tom Brady, and I love that Jaime keeps getting his fucking name wrong.
Get his fucking name right.
He better get his name right now.
And now,
especially after he saved his life.
Do you think it's some sort of like subconscious thing where he's like, "Your name is ridiculous. I'm not calling you Dickon."
Yeah. Well, he says it, and Bronn just busts out laughing.
Bronn is all of us. Bronn is every man in that situation. He's just like...
Bronn's like, your name what? Dickon? Oh, my God.
Oh, man. What was Randall thinking? Oh, so funny. So, so we've got Westerosi Tom Brady. Let's see. Dany comes over the top, man. Those screamers.
Dany makes
that image of them jumping up on their horses.
Oh yeah, they get
shooting
the bows
arrows
out
from the back, jumping in.
So I watched the inside the episode. I just rewatched the episode, and I watched the inside the episode.
Yep.
And they're talking about how they did that, and like they actually had to make special saddles.
I bet.
And all this stuff special just so that those guys could jump up on their back. And D&D make this comment where they say like, how do you convey that these guys are masters of the horse? Like, besides the fact that they're riding them, how do you show that these guys are masters? And one of their stunt coordinators was like, well, how about you have them all jump up on the back and shoot bows and arrows? That could be cool. And then everyone's like, yeah, it's not possible. And they're like, oh, we could probably do it. And they did it.
That's
and
so
it was
awesome.
so awesome.
And did you see that when Bronn is having his showdown with the Dothraki guy, the Dothraki guy goes low. Talk about acrobatics on a horse.
Yeah, sides the horse and cuts Bronn's horse's leg off.
It cuts the fucking horse's leg right off.
And I think that's actually really significant too, because Bronn is one of those heroes that would do that in a battle, right?
Like I thought it was Bronn at first.
Yeah, because Bronn is like the guy who's like, when the battle's fighting, there's no honor. You do what you can to win. If he doesn't wear armor, so he can move faster. He'll stab you in the back, literally.
In the books, when he has his joust off with the people at Castle Derry, because in the books he gets Castle Derry, the guy, they joust. The old knight challenges him to a joust because he's like, you're a sellsword, you don't know how to joust. So he just puts his javelin into the horse's heart.
Yep.
He says, oh, it slipped or whatever. It didn't slip. You killed the horse and then slaughtered the old man that fell off the back.
Yep.
So exactly, Bronn literally would fight like that.
Yeah, and so I thought that was very awesome to see the Dothraki outdo him on a horse because they're the horse masters. That makes complete sense. So
and it was cool.
That was really
and I
sweet.
like that the Dothraki guy hunted him down after.
Yeah,
he had his eye on Bronn and followed him into the baggage train. And surprise, surprise, giant bolt through the belly.
Heart. Yeah, that was crazy.
That was awesome.
Gets the scorpion. The Dothraki jumps up and looks down and basically shits his pants. Oh shit.
We have a lot of character growth with Bronn.
Yes,
he's gonna die.
He leaves the sack. He leaves the sack of gold.
He leaves his sack of fucking gold and he goes to fight a dragon.
Yeah.
He goes to do this impossible, heroic, you're
first
gonna die
guy in Westeros in thousands of years to harm a dragon.
Yep. Man, we were nervous. Kirsten was like, they can't kill Drogon. They can't kill Drogon. And I was like, they're going to hurt him.
This is the first time that we see a battle with principal characters on either side that you're kind of like, I don't know who to root for.
Yeah.
Because really, on one hand, as much as I hate the Lannisters in general,
the only
you root for Jaime.
Love is Jaime, yeah.
Well, and Tyrion, but because he's a Targaryen.
Right,
he's a Targaryen.
He's on Dany's side,
too. So
oh, and then the Dothraki call standing over Tyrion's shoulder being like, your people don't know how to fight.
Yep.
And so I heard a lot of chatter or, like there's a lot of BuzzFeed articles. It's just sort of like things about Game of Thrones are kind of everywhere. And one of the things they said was that Dany took Jon Snow's advice and didn't sack the city.
Yeah, 100%.
Where she wasn't killing innocents.
I agree.
And I was like, while that is true, these men in the field were soldiers. I would just like to remind you that they are conscripted farmers and plowboys, and they don't have it. This is not an all-volunteer army.
Yeah.
They are being forced to fight, so you're slaughtering just like the young male and the male populations of the Reach and of the Lannisters and of...
Yeah,
so, like, these are still... They're fighting. I give you that.
Yeah.
And they had to die, but, like... This is not a volunteer army. This is, you are conscripted and you are
it's not like Dany's side who are fighting because they believe in her. And,
Yep.
Missandei says that.
Missandei
says that. Missandei says that to Davos, and this is the best, one of the best lines in the whole show. Davos looks at Jon and goes, "Forgive me, but can I switch sides?"
Yeah, I mean, Davos had a ton of one-liners in this episode, and they were so great.
I saw you staring at her good heart.
Yeah, that was so good. But so the end fight, scale 1 to 10.
Bigger than Battle of the Bastards.
In your mind, bigger. This is better.
This is definitely a bigger fight.
Yeah.
I think it was shot
beautifully.
I think
they give you that immediacy of being on the ground and in the muck.
Yes.
And then there's like, I really enjoyed the flowing
overhead,
ashes. That were like flowing through the air.
Yeah.
And
in the there's another extra on HBO that you can watch, and it's called like the Epic Loot Train Battle.
Yep.
And just the amount of like a lot of people are like, wow, that was a lot of really good CGI. A lot of that fire and ash and smoke was real.
Practical effects. You can tell the difference between practical
they
effects.
They broke a world record on simultaneous men full burns on that episode. They lit 20 men on fire at the same time in one swoop.
Oh my God!
And that's a real practical effect. That's not people running around in front of a green screen or in a green suit, with CGI flames. They set 20 people on fire in armor for 12 seconds and then put them out. But
that's terrifying, and they have to run around on fire. Oh my God!
Yeah,
and I mean, you can tell when you're from Drogon's perspective, and you've laid down this flame, and then men are actually running out of the fire. With all this, flames and shit. I thought it was a very good detail that the helmets, you're pulling those burning metal off of your head, and at the end there was the one guy who's, his head skin, his face skin was all melted off. Like, these are the atrocities of war. And they're leaning into it. This is, and you're getting that gritty. You see Drogon's flame literally turn soldiers to ash.
Yeah, immediately. Like yeah, dragon flame. It can do that. Remember, this stuff is more powerful than wildfire.
Speaking of wildfire.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk the ballista. So you've got a giant
scorpion.
Yep, the scorpion. You've got a giant crossbow.
Yep.
That now we know can hurt dragons.
Yep, absolutely.
Adorable that Drogon smashes it with his tail and lights it on fire. Yep. I love that he destroys it. But now word's gonna get back to Cersei that this stuff works.
Yep.
And she's gonna learn some building techniques from Euron Crow's Eye, who built 1,000 ships in a day, and she's gonna build what?
1,000
scorpions around the city. And so is she gonna tip them with poison? Is she going to tip them with wildfire?
I think if they were taking any notes from Dorne, they would tip them in poison, right?
Like if that scorpion bolt was poisonous, then
Drogon. But at the same time, what's poisonous to a dragon? Right?
Point.
Do they know this? They don't know this. They could poison it with nightshade or whatever, and it could do nothing to a dragon.
And I wonder if wildfire. Dragons are fire made flesh.
Yeah.
So does heat really affect them that much?
We know Dany walked into a fire and didn't get burned.
Yeah, and these guys have. So maybe a wildfire tip, how would you get it to go? But anyway, if you could, I'm thinking about like how to increase the lethal...
The lethality of these scorpions.
Yeah, because they gotta, even with the magical crank out 1 million of these scorpions around the city, I think it could still be troubling.
But you gotta remember too, like, Dany so far is listening to Jon Snow. She's listening to the advice, and she's not sacking the city.
Yeah.
Right. So their plan initially is to barricade the city and prevent it from getting the harvest, which is something that they do in the loot train battle. She blows up all these all this loot, which we know is not gold because
Randall
Tarley says the last of the gold is conveniently comes up and strolls up and says the last of the gold has made it into the city. We just have to get the rest of these grain in.
That's right. And so that money pays off Cersei's debts.
Yes.
So now she's at 0.
Yeah.
But she's going to be borrowing heavily from the Iron Bank going forward.
Potentially, she makes that comment, right? She says to the Iron Bank, to the Bravosi from the Iron Bank. She says,
Tychos Nestoris.
She says, she doesn't say my maester. She just says Qyburn has reached out, has been in contact with the Golden Company.
What's up with this Golden Company? Maybe we will just do this whole episode backwards. What's up with the Golden Company? It's a little late to bring them in, isn't it?
Okay, it's way too late to bring in the whole fake Aegon thing, right? They're not doing that. There's no way they're going to automatically show up with John Connington.
This is the halfway point of the second to last season, of the penultimate season.
Yeah.
We only have a season and literally 4 episodes, like a season and a half left.
Yeah.
It's way too late.
Yeah. I don't think there's going to be fake Aegon and or John Connington and any of that. But I think maybe the Blackfires come over and fight for Cersei at the beginning. And
do you think? Okay, so here's a question: if the Blackfires come over, do they have the sword Blackfire? Is Dany's ancestral sword?
We think the sword
is Targaryen sword.
We think
coming
what
back?
we know from the books. We think the sword is missing.
Right,
it's long gone.
It might be that Illyrio has it in one of the chests, and one of the ways to legitimize fake Aegon is that he's going to come out with the the last remaining Targaryen sword.
Well, who do you think owns the dagger?
The cat's paw dagger.
Yeah, I mean,
in the book, it's less important in the book.
It's less important in the book. But who do you think owns it? I mean, we see it in the book that Sam is reading at the Citadel last episode.
Yeah.
He turns a page and there's the cat's paw dagger drawn on this thing. And
I missed that.
And we see the...
Wait, whoa.
Yes.
He saw the cat's paw dagger drawn somewhere?
Yeah.
I missed a whole big chunk here.
Yeah.
Show me. When he sees the map, he
sees the map.
Dragon glass here.
Right. Right. On like the next page on the other side, there's the cat's paw dagger drawn.
Huh. So this is going back to the original Long Night. Did you get the sense? Let's go to cat's paw dagger.
Yeah.
Did you get the sense when Bran was handing it to Arya that he was watching himself from outside of himself? Hand this important piece of history to the world's most notorious future killer.
Yes, I think he not only knows exactly who he's gonna kill, she's gonna kill with this blade.
It's already happened.
It's already happened in his mind, and he's like,
so he's connecting the dots here.
Oh, I guess I have to give this to Arya.
Yeah, and Bran is I can't with this kid. I just can't stop, you emo son of a bitch.
Speaking of Arya, holy shit,
big heart and googly eyes over Brienne.
I love that fight scene with Brienne.
I loved it. They know exactly how to please me, man.
Milady, you can't use that. It's too small. I'll try not to cut you.
And then she just
don't worry, I won't cut you. And Brienne goes, I'll try not to.
Oh my God. It was so perfect. I mean, silly in that Brienne has so much she's got to be holding back. She's got to be holding back.
You think she is?
I do. She's got.
I think she is at first, and then she kicks.
Oh yeah.
I think the kick moment is when she goes, oh shit, I just I turned it on.
Yep.
And then
Arya, she pulls it back again. I think
she pulls it back again, but then Arya gets up and is like, let's motherfucking go.
Yep.
And
then they're at it, man.
And then they're about to kill each other.
Yep, but Brienne is definitely holding back. But here we have, so you get Sansa and Littlefinger looking at her sister kick Brienne's ass. If not, kick Brienne's ass. Like, go toe-to-toe with a tiny little sword and a cat's paw dagger.
Yep.
And all the flair of, like, Syrio Forel, the water dancer.
Yeah,
she was all, like, one-handed ballerina.
What did you think about that? Like, because clearly she didn't learn any of that from the House of Black and White, right? That sword fighting was all
Syrio.
the first sword water dancer of Braavos,
and
right?
There's a part of my headcanon, and I'm not in book shape right now, but I believe that the Faceless Men are the enemy of the water dancers. That the water dancer is hired by the Sea Lord of Braavos to see through disguises and deceptions. Part of Syrio's first lesson to Arya is about a tomcat or something. Everybody thought it was a girl cat, and he knew it was a boy cat, something like that. And so you learn to see what isn't there, and you're this like baller fighter,
right?
And so it would make sense to me that person is seeing through your like Faceless Men disguises to protect the Sea Lord.
So that makes Arya both the badass of the badassery.
Yeah. So anyway,
I like that theory a lot.
None of that's in the show, of course, but like there was definitely that was water dancer moves.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, she puts the sword behind her back and then steps makes one step to the side, pulls the sword out and hits it away.
And I'm like, if you're not quick enough and Brian catches you even with a blunted sword, half your face is going across that training yard right now.
Which is what happens. She gets kicked across the training yard with a fucking boot.
Oh my god, I loved it. I loved it.
And then at the end, Brienne
still
says,
getting his ass kicked and still calling her my lady.
Brienne says, "Who taught you how to do that?" No one.
Best line. One of the best lines. There were so many good lines.
So many
in this
good
episode.
lines. I know.
We're halfway through the season, and it was so satisfying.
Yeah.
I love the show right now, Dave.
So
and I
good.
think a lot of people, so I'm hearing, or, like in my Twitter feed, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, the show isn't the same. It's just not as interesting. And I'm like, who are you people? It's only getting good right now.
Well, what I find interesting about what they're doing now versus what they did in the previous seasons was obviously there hasn't been a lot of fighting up until this point, and these last seasons are basically all fighting and all this like action and things are happening so quickly now compared to earlier in the season. And then on top of it, because things are happening so quickly, I think D&D are taking very, very big, I don't want to say risks, but they're taking big leaps in cinematography. Like, we haven't seen things like the grayscale, cutting off the grayscale into a hot pie before, or the poop and soup scene. We've never seen anything like that shot like this before. And they're taking these big
There's a beauty
leaps.
to this. There is a beauty to this long form, high quality storytelling. Even in a quiet scene, like when Mira goes to talk to Bran, and like the candles on the wall, Bran's like brand new fancy wheelchair with the leather straps in the back, the room, you feel the realness of this world, right? Like you are there in that, in that castle room with them. And it at no point does the scenery take you out of it, or it elevates, and it's so good. Oh, it's so immersive.
Speaking of that scene, is Mira looking for "I love you, Mira" from Bran?
What is she looking for?
What is she looking for?
Bran is such a dick. And people are
he's not Bran. He's the three-eyed raven.
People are like, he's just a kid. He's got too much in his head. And I'm like, I can't with this emo shit. My tolerance for whiny. So
Mira's like,
kids.
I'm leaving now.
Yeah.
I'm going.
You don't need me anymore, she says. And he's
going.
like, you're right. I don't.
and she goes, that's it. Jojen died for you. Summer Hodor died for you. I almost died for you. And he says, thank you. And she's like, that's it. I love you, Brad. I just want to play with your Winky. I love you.
Let me run my fingers through your thick caterpillar-like eyebrows.
Oh, poor Mira.
And then he's just like sulking around in the Godswood. What a weird... Okay.
First off, I don't think he's sulking. Everyone thinks he's sulking.
He's sulky.
I think he's just emotionless. And I think he's just emotionless because
planted like a tree.
Yeah. He knows you said it. That's perfect. He's planted like a tree. He knows everything that's going to happen. He knows everything. It's not that he's not Jon Snow, king of brooding. All right? He's planted like a tree, like a fucking weirwood tree.
Oh my God, Jon Snow's like sad face. And I like girls dig this, and I'm just like
Danny's starting to dig it.
Oh my goodness, that's why it's Sex on the Beach cave.
I'll fight for you.
Oh my God.
If you bend the knee.
Now here's the thing. My mother, adorable, texted me yesterday because she had to talk about Game of Thrones, and I was like, "You're watching Game of Thrones?" So of course I FaceTime with her, and she was like, "Tana, John 100% bent the knee in that cave." And I was like, "John did something in that cave." And she was like,
yeah.
He bent the knee. He absolutely did.
I don't think he did.
And I'm like, the most compelling
I think
thing.
she got on her knees, if you know what I mean. Hey-o!
No, man. John gave her the Lord's kiss.
You think... Wouldn't be the first time he did something like that in a cave.
That's his one move. He's like, "Hey, girl.
Hey, we're in a cave. Hey, girl, you're in this cave. Let me...
Wiping the chalk off his hands. It's like, "Come into my cave."
Come into my cave so I can come in your cave.
God.
Oh!
Brought to you by Westeros Wheneverly.
Westeros Wheneverly. Also now brought to you by Studio.
Studio.
Go check out their headphones and use Westeros 15 as your coupon code. Wow, we are sellouts now.
I know. I love it. No, but nobody send us Blue Curacao. We have it. What kind of booze do we want? What's next on our hit list?
That reminds me. Speaking of people sending us stuff, you didn't tell me that Connor made an awesome, our fan Connor made this awesome song for us.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick time out from talking about the show to do a quick episode of an unprepared episode of Stump Dave.
And we have some new theme music that I'm going to play for you guys that is provided by our friend Connor. He made it for us. So, and I plan, by the way, to use this for every Stump Dave moving forward.
Excited.
So
I'm so excited. When we get back into, I'll put together an awesome Stump Dave from Boat Kaylin.
Okay,
when we get back into shows.
All right,
or
so
stuff.
here it is.
Oh, it's so good.
To the tune of Chocolate Rain, since that was how I sang it the first time. Here's the song, folks.
Stumpin' Dave, will he get the questions right today? Stumpin' Dave, or will he cry like a mewling babe? Let's stump Dave. Tana asking questions here and there. Let's stump Dave. The questions are hard ones, but fair.
That's it. So good. So amazing.
Oh, Connor, you're the best.
Oh, my God.
You're the best, Connor.
Stumpin' Dave. Oh, man. So
Questions are
good.
hard but fair. Stumpin' Dave. Connor actually won one of our, over Christmas, when we paper, rock, scissored for the Westeros Wheneverly Shaker. He won it.
Yeah.
So he's a super fan.
Super fan.
Yep. So that interlude. Here's a Stump Dave question.
Okay.
What are the names? Oh, where?
Dickon.
Where's the Blackwater Rush located?
Blackwater Rush is in right before Blackwater Bay, right outside King's Landing.
Ding, ding, ding.
Woohoo!
This episode of Stump Dave was brought to you by Connor's
Connor song.
Boop, 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 boop.
Is that like Adam's song from Blink-182? Except it's not about suicide.
So sad. Adam's song is so sad. Wow.
Speaking of sad things.
Yes. It's a good transition to what?
Actually, there was nothing really too sad in this episode. I was gonna try to transition something there, but
yeah.
I mean,
let's talk about the Moody Judy, the Stark
Fresh
children.
and Fruity.
Yeah, Moody Judy.
Fresh and Fruity.
Fresh and Fruity. Stark children.
Fresh and snowy.
Yeah.
Stark children. So
Frosty.
So Peter Baelish.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what happens this episode with Peter Baelish and
he's just
Fruity,
looking Moody Judy.
Moody Judy. He's
watching all these kids do some fucking magic.
So he says this shit to Bran, right? He says, "I'm here. This dagger
started the War of the Five Kings."
Well, first he says, Yeah, he says that, and then some would say that that question started the War of the Five Kings. But what's interesting is that he makes this whole kind of monologue spiel about how this dagger was sent to cut your throat, but the other one that killed your mother, I would have stopped that with my own heart.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to say, and I will do what she would have done if she was here right now and protect you children as if you were my own.
Yeah.
And then he makes some comment about chaos, and Bran immediately like cuts him off and goes, chaos is a ladder, which...
Being like, dude, I'm fucking God right now.
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah.
You were alone with Varys in the Red Keep.
Uh-huh.
And I know your whole shtick.
Yeah, Varys is saying how chaos is a pit, and this is back in season 3, episode 6. Varys says chaos is a pit, and Littlefinger goes, chaos is not a pit, it's a ladder.
So doesn't
and the look on Littlefinger's face when Bran says that is like, oh shit. How the fuck am I gonna compete with an all-seeing God? My shtick, my thing is I know everything. I plan everything ahead, and I know power. I know everything. And this kid absolutely actually knows everything.
Yeah, and Bran is super creepy the whole time. And so before Littlefinger can really react, like we get the little arched eyebrow, that's when Mira walks in and is like, hey, Bran, I love you. And he's like, there's the door. Have fun going home.
Go home and get Howland,
Bran
and maybe that'll
he just
tell
does not
everyone
give a
about
fuck. He just doesn't.
John.
God. So yeah, what is with Littlefinger telling everyone that he likes to bone their mom? Like, why tell everyone that you want to bone their sister, mother, family members? Where are you going with that?
Maybe he thinks it's like his way to stay like as an advisor to them.
Really?
But the only one who's listening to him is Sansa.
Yeah.
And even then, Sansa's kind of like half listening to him, like with that one line about, not in this episode, but I'll assume it was something clever. Yeah, that was good.
So great. So like he's just spinning his wheels.
Yeah.
Right? Like what's he doing? But he is witnessing. So if he's doing his little calculations, he's got Sansa as Lady of Winterfell.
Yep.
Right. So maybe not extraordinary, except that she's super powerful.
How do you think she feels though? Like all the other Bran children, all the other Stark children have powers, and she's just like, I got raped.
Bran's like a rolling weirwood tree right now, being super creepy, and Arya is like a faceless man killing people, beating up Brienne of Tarth.
Ugh.
And Littlefinger's like, where am I? What is happening in Winterfell? Dude, what is he doing? There's no path up this ladder for you. Your chaos ladder does not go through Winterfell.
But I don't think he has a path in any of the other.
So
he can't go back to Cersei now, right? Because he finally declared the Vale for the North.
Is he still the protector of the Vale?
I think he is. I don't know if he's.
They murder him or he dies. What happens to the Vale soldiers?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure Royce or someone would have to declare for the North
rather than march back to the Vale or something.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see. Littlefinger has to come up with a purpose.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's there.
Yeah.
And if Bran sees everything, does he see that he's the reason his mother is dead and his father is dead, and that he conspired to bone Sansa and sell her to Ramsay?
Yeah.
And
well,
if that's the case, how
he's got
safe
to.
Are you gonna
he's
be,
got.
dude?
He's got to have.
I mean,
and maybe he tells Arya this, and maybe Arya kills Littlefinger or something like that.
Because they share a look. There's an Arya lingering glance at Littlefinger.
Yeah.
They are regarding each other across the field in a very cryptic way.
Littlefinger was never on Arya's list, right?
Right, but she's noticing him. He's noticing her.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of crypts.
Oh, that was a good scene.
Hey. Getting creepy down in the crypts.
Getting creepy in the crypts.
With ugly dad between you.
Oh my God. What a great comment. Like, they should have got someone who knew his face, and Sansa's like, everyone who knew his face is dead.
It's so true.
And what a meaningful thing to Arya, a face, right? Being a faceless man, like knowing like
Dave.
how to like cut someone's throat off. Like this is like a huge thing for her.
I never even thought of that.
What? That was like
His
blatantly
face.
obvious. His face.
I immediately went to the Cristiano Ronaldo statue. Have you seen this? Google it right now. So super handsome, fancy soccer player.
Yeah.
Has a bronze statue made of him that looks like the most hilariously ugly. I think his name is RIA. I'm not gonna spell it. Ronaldo. Yeah.
Okay.
And Google it. It's hilarious. There's a side by side of his like super angular, like sexy man soccer player face.
And they tried to cast
and
it in
then
bronze.
there's like this like black teeth, small mouth, eyes too close together, squinch face, cockeyed, giant head, monster like gob of a statue. Oh, it's fantastic. So that's immediately where my mind went. What a shitty statue.
But it's interesting their interaction between each other because remember when they were growing up, they didn't. I don't want to say they didn't like each other, but they didn't get along. Right? They were like polar opposites, and in fact, they're still polar opposites.
And they
Sansa is a lady.
Moved closer to what they wanted when they were young.
Right. Sansa is now a lady, like full blown lady of Winterfell, and Arya is a fighter. She's always wanted to be a fighter with
on her own with Brian.
Yeah, exactly. And so you're right. They've both kind of moved towards what they wanted at the beginning.
There was still that like frostiness between them. There was still that like
there was still
like hugs, but it wasn't this I love you, I miss you, and that would have come off.
Well, they were always at odds when they were children. Remember, like Sansa's basically the reason that Nymeria gets run off.
I remember. I also still. Other people love Sansa, but I would still not push her in front of a bus. That's mean. But like, I still blame her for the death of Ned. Yeah. I'm very upfront about that. And, I hope that she finds a way to redeem herself in my eyes.
Yeah. Because we all know, ladies and gentlemen, Tana Ford's eyes are the most important when it comes to critiquing the Game of the Thrones.
That's right.
Okay.
And I do like her story arc. I like seeing her come into her own power and sort of like they take care every episode to show her in control. She's walking and organizing things. She's when the two guards come up and they're like some girl was here and said she was your sister, but it's really not, no big deal. She's like working at a stack of papers. She's not knitting. She's not like whatever.
What could she be working on at a stack of papers? Like
she's doing something, man.
Is she answering Raven scrolls or
she's
is she
probably doing some math?
You think she's doing math? Why wouldn't like Maester? Why wouldn't Maester? Whatever the new guy's name is.
Hedry?
Yeah, no Warwood.
Yeah, I don't
something
know.
like that.
I don't know.
Why wouldn't he be doing that shit?
Hey, there's some letters. What did Peter say? Some wars, no, that's Tywin, are won with swords and others with ravens.
With the pen, yeah.
So we'll see. But she's always at work, so I think they're leaning into that. But I thought it was a very honest exchange between them. I thought it stayed true to their character.
Yeah.
But what about this Sansa line when she says, Jon was so excited to see me. Imagine what he's going to be like when he sees you.
Yeah.
She says, I bet his heart will stop. What?
His heart is not beating.
Do we think? I mean, he's a white, right? Like, he's a fire white.
I mean, he's got to be, beating? Right? But
that's the whole thing with Beric Dondarrion, that his heart isn't beating anymore, said George. His blood isn't pumping, right?
Yeah.
But I think Jon's is. Maybe he's only a little dead. He's only half dead.
It's just a flesh wound.
I feel better. I think I'll go for a walk now. But yeah, there was this, I bet his heart will stop line. And I was like, David and Dan are really tucking in some gems in this episode.
They really were. Mm-hmm. I mean, so many good one-liners.
And then, did you kill Joff? Says Arya to Sansa. Sansa's like, I wish.
Yeah.
She goes, well, he was always on the top of my list. You have a list? What list? Just...
My list of people to kill.
List of people to kill.
And then Sansa's like, what?
I think it's at that moment. It's at that moment that Sansa's like, you need to meet Bran.
Yep.
Because the two of you are creepy as fuck. Okay, I'm still normal, but you two are creepy.
But she laughs, and I think she like makes it a joke because Arya laughs.
Yep.
But then when they meet Bran, Bran's like, or Bran goes, I thought you were going to King's Landing, and Sansa goes, why would she go there? And Bran goes, to kill Cersei. She was on her list, and Sansa goes, Oh, fuck.
Motherfucker. Yep. And did you notice that there were crows cawing behind Bran?
Yes.
I love that, man. These little touches. The show is getting me with these little touches. It's because I'm a starving man. So even a little cracker.
Tana, you don't have a penis.
Even a little Ritz cracker. I'm like, it's delicious. It's so buttery. There's an Eddie Murphy stand-up where he does that, I think. Anyway, so I'm stealing from him shamelessly.
Yeah, shamelessly.
Without meaning to.
But you did.
Yep. Let's see. Then Bran comes. Crows are calling. He's so moody and annoying.
He's not moody. I'm telling you, he's planted like a tree.
I saw you at the crossroads.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
I saw Sansa getting raped. Did I tell you that? I suck. Here, have a dagger. That's essentially what he says to his sisters.
I love that everyone is kind of like, nice dagger. Like, Brienne says to her, nice sword. Even nicer dagger.
Yeah. So this cat's paw dagger was, I need to figure out I need to go back and see whatever book Sam was reading.
There was a Reddit thread about it, and they were like
Are there any theories or anything about it?
They were trying to decrypt. Well, there is a theory. Well, hold on. They were trying to decrypt what was on the page.
Okay.
Like from the book, like these people are going even super more hardcore than we are. They're like freeze framing it and trying to piece together what it says. And there wasn't really a lot of good information that came out of that, but some people were theorizing maybe this was Rhaegar's dagger or something along those lines. And I thought, yeah, that could be cool.
It would have to go back to it would be like the last hero's dagger.
Yeah, and so
like
my thought,
have to take it all the way back.
My real thought was maybe they're replacing Dark Sister with this dagger.
Yeah.
And so because I always kind of feel like Arya, if anyone, would somehow end up with Dark Sister.
Yeah, it's a younger sibling blade of someone that never achieves the throne. Sits on the throne. So Bloodraven had it. Visenya is the first person that has Dark Sister. So the two ancestral swords of House Targaryen are Blackfire and Dark Sister.
And I think if Bloodraven has it, then in the books it's more likely that Bran somehow gets it and then somehow gives it to Arya.
Right.
So I think they kind of like...
I think Hodor's going to use it for a while.
Maybe.
Because Bran's always wandering around in Hodor with his torch of knowledge and a sword.
Yeah, maybe. But I think eventually somehow it gets to Arya, and I think maybe that's what the cat's paw is taking place of in this context.
Okay, I like that.
I also like that if you looked closely at it in this episode, you can see that it's ornated.
Yeah.
It's with dragonglass. Like that's absolutely dragonglass in the hilt.
Yeah.
And,
so it's gonna go back to the Dawn days. If it's in a Sam book, it's gonna go back.
Yeah, it goes back really far, which is possible.
John forgot to draw it on the cave wall with his chalk.
Exactly, right.
When he was just give me 5 minutes,
look,
guys.
Look, the children of the first men were here, and so were the children of the forest.
It looks exactly like the Night's King. See, you should totally be on my side now.
Yeah, exactly. You can get on your knees now.
Yep. Oh my god.
And then I'll get on my knee and give you the Lord's kiss.
The Lord's kiss. What is it? Sex on the beach.
Sex on the beach cave. All men must drink.
All men must drink. Oh, our ice melted. We have to get more ice. So yeah, Bran is a moody Judy. Dany and Missandei.
Very interesting exchange when they're walking down the stairs.
I loved
it. And Missandei says, "Any word from Casterly Rock?"
Where's my little gray worm?
Yeah, where is he? And then Dany goes, "He'll be back, don't worry." And she goes,
side eye.
Well, Missandei goes, "He better be." And then
goes, what happened?
Yeah, many things.
And Dany's like, many things.
Oh.
And then who
They're about to gossip.
In? Yeah.
They're about to gossip. Danny's already getting a little wet down there from this gossip that the girls do all the time.
They had Bellinis come in or mimosas, and then it was just brunch, and she's like, "Girl, go on."
Yeah, exactly.
Samantha is there, and some other girl from Sex and the City.
Fucking Karen! God damn it! Fucking Karen! Who invited Karen? What the fuck?
That would be amazing.
No, but then who walks up? Her man crush,
Snow.
Jon Snow. I mean, there's so much tension between them.
And then he's like,
they are gonna get it on.
So she's like, they're talking about sex.
Yeah.
Many things. What are you talking about? And he's like, Your Grace, let me show you this thing in the cave.
Yeah.
Can we please go to my beach cave now? As he's wiping the chalk off his
I wanted to show you it before we start hacking it to pieces.
Oh Oh my god. And then later Jon is talking to Missandei, and Jon and Davos are walking down the stairs, and this is where he makes the grammar joke, which was hilarious.
Yeah. Yes.
Apparently that's a throwback to Stannis.
It's a throwback to Stannis. Stannis was always correcting Davos.
Yeah.
And actually, it's a very telling thing where Davos starts the season in the books, the beginning of the story, illiterate and not well spoken.
Character growth.
And he ends up, reading Raven scrolls and correcting grammar of his lord, his grace.
Jon's all like, "How many men we need are dragons? Or
10,000 less.
How many do we have?"
Davos says, "Fewer."
And then they just keep going, and it's so great.
Yep.
It was perfect. But then he gets up to Missandei.
What do you think? What do you think of her? Who you mean? You know who I'm talking about.
Like,
I think she has a good heart. I caught you staring at her good heart a couple times.
I saw you admiring her good heart. Oh my god. Like a super sly boob joke. Davos is coming in hot.
Jesus.
I love it.
When did he get so smooth?
I love
Speaking of good hearts, Melisandre from North.
Yeah, he's like, hey,
Missandei from North.
From Nath, what's up? And she's like, why is your name Jon Snow? I thought your father's name was Stark. And he's like, I'm a bastard. And she's all, we don't have marriage. And Davos is like, can I get up in that?
What does he say? He says, how freeing or something like those lines?
How liberating.
How liberating.
Yep, how liberating. I feel like he's trying to make a move on Missandei. If Grey Worm doesn't get back here pretty soon.
Who knows? They could have a three-way.
Yep, and she likes them, he's missing some fingers.
That's right. She likes some names.
Missing appendages.
Oh my god.
So,
oh my god.
Might be her type. I don't know. And then we get the beach cave.
Oh no! Right after that, we see Euron.
Oh, is that where we?
Is that a Greyjoy ship? They're talking with Missandei.
When they finally see a ship before it's on top of them.
Yeah. Is that a Greyjoy ship?
Yeah, that's right. And because she was like, on Nath, we don't have marriage. And it's like, oh.
Is that a Greyjoy ship?
I think during that exchange, Jon apologizes to Missandei for the existence of slavery, and I was like, okay, that's totally appropriate.
Yeah, right.
That's something Jon would absolutely do. I roll. Let's go to the ship.
Oh, look, a ship. And Euron is coming in
Theon.
on like a... Sorry, yes.
Not Euron.
Did I say Euron?
You did.
I meant Theon.
Yeah.
Theon's on the ship, on his way onto the beach, and they see Jon for the first time.
Now, remind me, when was the last time they saw each other?
Oh, the last time they saw each other was before Jon goes to the wall. I mean, it's like way back. Jon knows the shit. Apparently, he's been talking to Sansa, right? Because he says he grabs Jon and he says, Jon grabs Theon and says, the only reason why I'm not killing you right now is the stuff because of what you did for Sansa is the only reason why I'm not killing you right now. Yep. So. Yep. But you would think that he's pissed off because apparently Theon killed Bran and Rickon, but. He knows Rickon's not. Well, he knows Rickon wasn't killed by Theon because he saws him. He saws him.
All men must drink.
Oh, he's fucking alcoholics. Jesus Christ. He sees Rickon get mowed down by an arrow from Ramsay.
That's right. There's a zigzag joke I'm forgetting.
And if he's been talking to Sansa and knows what he did for Sansa, Theon told Sansa I didn't kill Bran. Yeah. So anyway, he's still pissed that Theon sacked Winterfell and burned it to the ground and whatnot, and grabs him and is angry. But
and then
that's
he's like,
basically,
we came to see if the queen would try to save my sister.
Yeah, and Jon goes, the queen's not here.
The queen is gone.
Queen is gone.
Like, where did she go?
And then poof, that's when you get to the great battle that we already talked about.
We get the baggage train scene. Yeah. We've got the
What did we miss in the beginning?
Yeah, let me go back to my first note here. Spoils of War. It opens with Jaime and Bronn on the gravy train.
Oh, yeah.
Stacks on stacks on stacks.
Yeah, and Bronn is like, I want a castle, bitch.
Where's my castle?
What about this one?
Give me Highgarden. Jaime's like, I can't give you Highgarden, bitch.
Yeah, fuck.
Did the Queen of Thorns prick you in the balls one last time?
Yep.
Yeah, she did.
That was good. But this is actually another scene where I think we see a transition starting to happen of Jaime. Yeah. Because he makes this.
I've been thinking that he's going to start transitioning to not being stupid anytime now.
Well, we saw last episode, the whole at the end of the season, where I think, okay, Queen of Thorns pricked him in the balls and gave him like, this
It's a great line.
seed in his head that Cersei is a disease, right?
Yep.
And then in this episode, he makes this comment like, the more gold you have, the more it weighs you down, the more responsibility and power you have, the more of an asshole basically you become, and the harder life is. It's not living on easy street.
John
Cue
says,
Walking
or
Dead
not
song.
John,
Easy street. Do you watch Walking Dead?
No.
Oh my God! How do you not? Anyway, that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not current on it.
Okay.
So the what does Bronn say at that point? He's like, yeah, I can really imagine a future where Cersei has a peaceful kingdom.
Yeah.
Roll my eyes. Right.
Jamie says something like, when the war is done and there's peace in the land, you'll have any castle to choose from. And Bronn's like, yeah, in a world where Cersei's queen, that peace is going to happen.
In a world where Cersei has no children to
one
bring
world,
her in.
no golden-haired children. One dragon queen is dead.
Yep.
Cersei, bringing peace to the land.
Do you think that
Never coming out.
that Bronn will switch sides to Tyrion?
So throughout the first time I watched it, Sunday night,
Yep.
the whole time we get the long cut of Bran, because Bronn. We get the long scene, the long take of Bronn, which I fucking loved.
Yeah.
Right, I love that they followed him through the battle a lot.
So you're talking about when he's like on the horse, and his horse's
and
leg gets
he's
cut,
throwing the dagger,
he
and then
decides, because his fucking horse falls and all of his gold spills everywhere.
Yeah.
So we open with that sack of coins, that huge fortune being handed to Bronn to pay him, and Bronn's like, where's my castle? I want a castle. You promised me a castle.
The Lannisters pay their debts,
and he's like,
but
I
not
just
to
paid
me.
You. I just paid. Only you would complain about not getting paid when I literally just paid you.
Yep.
And so there's a little disquiet there.
There's a great meme on Reddit going around, and it's like a castle wall, and it says Lannister Employee of the Month, and it's a picture of Bronn.
I love it. Oh my God, I love it.
Shoots a dragon, saves
my
Jaime. But yeah, so they do this long take of Bronn, and then they, like, every once in a while they kind of cut to Tyrion.
Yep.
And I keep thinking to myself, oh man, if Bronn sees Tyrion, like, he's jumping ship.
Now, are they besties in the show? Because they are besties in the book. Bronn goes his own way.
When he gets the castle. But,
when he gets the castle. But then he names the bastard after Tyrion. So, like, bro, he's still carrying your heart in his heart.
I think...
He's still got you in his own beach cave.
I think in the show, he's more besties with Jaime.
Yeah.
Like,
they've been war buddies.
He trains him, like, had a fight with his bad hand, and they've been hanging out. So I think, I don't know why they did the switch that way, but I think he's more besties with Jaime.
Yeah.
But let that aside, every fucking time I see Bronn and Tyrion, they have good chemistry together. And to me, it's just like the first time I watched it, I'm like, oh man, if Bronn sees Tyrion, he's jumping ship. He's jumping ship or something.
Yeah, maybe now that he's been literally burned by a dragon, he won't flip for the dragon. The other side of that is he sees that they can't stand against them.
Yeah.
Then he's the only guy that's actually wounded a dragon. So I can see it going either way. What did you think of Bronn, the exchange, I'm not much for shoveling wheat, he says, and Jaime says, no, but I bet you're good at motivating reluctant farmers to turn over all their harvest.
Yeah.
Do you think Bronn is moving away from that personality? By the end of the episode, he ends in a very different place.
Definitely at the end of this, I think this is a very big growth episode for Bronn.
Yeah.
I think there have been a couple other episodes, like the episode where he trains with Jaime.
Yep.
That's another big one where you kind of see him not doing something just for gold.
We could tally up the times that Bronn has literally saved Jaime's life by teaching him or helping him learn to sword fight again.
Yeah.
He saved him from the Dothraki today.
Yeah.
Then he saves him from drowning.
Yeah.
Then, he went and shot the dragon with the,
Yeah, and what's amazing is that his horse gets cut down.
Yep.
The sack of gold is laying there. He could have grabbed it, picked it up, and ran, but he doesn't.
He doesn't run.
Yeah.
He goes for it. So I thought that was a very... I really enjoyed that, and I found it sort of a deeply human story.
Yeah.
We jump from there to Cersei drinking during her bank meeting.
Oh, yeah.
I love that she drinks during all of her meetings.
Everyone drinks during all their meetings.
All men must drink.
All men must drink. I
when
mean, come on.
With, the Iron Bank, I guess. She would be so easy to poison. The bitch drinks all the time.
She takes after her late husband.
Oh, she really does. Yeah. Why is Cersei still a redhead? Wasn't she blonde before? What's up with this wig?
I don't know.
Next question, Stumpin' Dave.
Stumpin' Dave.
So she's,
should be Stumpin' D&D. Like, seasons 1 and 2, they were like, she was like way
hair?
blonde, but
What's
now she's like
hair?
a dirty blonde. What's going on?
It's very like strawberry red. It is very red to my eye. So Cersei says to the Iron Banker that she wants their help recovering something that belonged to her.
Yeah.
What the hell is she talking about?
That's a great question. I think it's the 7 Kingdoms. You think it's something more than that?
I think it's an object. There's got to be an object. I thought it was a something,
what
tangible
do you think?
thing.
Like a horn or something?
I have no idea. I feel like they were doing. This was the episode of callbacks.
Yeah, I can't think of anything in season 1 that like got stolen from Cersei.
Was she gonna bring her kids back from the dead?
No.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's been taken from her.
I think it's the 7 Kingdoms, and she makes that comment too. She goes, "I won't rest until every man on this continent, woman and child on this continent is under my control."
Yeah. A little grandiose there, Cersei.
Yeah. Big, very much
Still
grandiose.
think that Tychos is perfectly cast.
Oh yeah, he did a great job.
Down pat.
Great job. He's like, we're very happy that you're paying us off, even though we were fond of those interest payments.
Right. That's Tywin Lannister.
I think this is the first time in history that someone has paid us all off of this large a sum in such a one-time payment.
And she's like, let's continue to make history together.
Well, she says that. He says that. He goes, is there anything else you need help with?
That's right.
Thanks for paying us.
Yeah,
we would love to finance your next adventure.
Yeah, let's continue to loan this to you. So I want to know, and anybody out there, if you know what Cersei was talking about, that she wants their help recovering something that belonged to her.
If you think I'm wrong, tweet us.
Yeah.
And make sure you add us and say, Dave, you're absolutely terribly wrong. It's more than the 7 Kingdoms. Yep. She wants Euron Dick or Jaime or something. Yeah.
What would have been taken from her?
Casterly Rock was just taken from her.
Oh. That was just taken from her, but she wants to be queen of the 7 Kingdoms.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I think she cares more about the 7 being queen of the 7 Kingdoms. Not that she cares about the 7 Kingdoms, but I think she cares more about being queen than she does about Casterly Rock. So
Arya looking at Winterfell
from a distance, what the feels hit you right in the feels. She's like, home sweet home, yeah.
I love the time traveling and the distance traveling in this show. I understand it's a necessity. Yeah, if you ever watched
why? I mean,
Monty Python.
But let's be honest. Like, what's the point of watching her travel through the woods from the distance when the only important part is her getting to the door and having this argument with these 2 idiot guards?
Yep.
I love the line that she says to Sansa. Sansa says, "You shouldn't have run away from the guards," and Arya goes, "I didn't run away. You need better guards."
And when you come up on it, so I had the closed captions on when I was watching the second time. Those 2 assholes are talking about what they would fuck in the kitchen. Yeah. So it's like, the redheaded maid with the butt or whatever. And he's like, the only thing in the kitchen you've had your cock in is the liver. And I was like, gross. That's the thing. Turn on your closed captions, guys. Man. You're missing some gems. I think that's it, man. I think we did it.
I mean, it was the shortest episode, so covering it in only an hour makes about sense. But, man, I mean...
Does Danny...
We know... I tweeted this out, but we know why they cut 3 episodes off the end of the season was to pay for that CGI and that dragon.
Man, that dragon looked great.
It was awesome.
Somebody counted up how many times up to now Danny and the dragon have been filmed together, and it's a handful of times. Yeah. And in that scene alone, it was 80 shots of her.
Yeah. They said that at the end of the inside the episode, they said, in all the other episodes, there've only been a handful of shots with her and the dragon, maybe 4 or 5. But in this episode alone, there were 80 separate shots of her riding this dragon, just wrecking havoc. So,
I love it.
Hopefully, precedents of what's to come. I'd love to see more dragon battle.
The next week's episode is going to be the 3rd to last.
It's the 3rd to last.
It's going to be a boring episode. We're going to see Sam.
I think it's 51 minutes long, and then the season episode 6 is 71 minutes long, and episode 7 is 89 minutes long.
Man,
So
I like how we're getting bigger.
Yeah,
like
we go from the shortest episode to some of the longest episodes in the season.
Episode, do you know?
This episode, I think it was only like 48 minutes, something like that. I don't quote me on that.
It did seem
but
very quick.
Yeah.
Couple last things, and I want you to remember Westerosi Tom Brady.
Westerosi Tom Brady.
Yeah,
all right.
when they're talking and it's Jamie and Dickon.
Do you think
and
it was
Bronn.
he was a little deflated because he said, it was my first battle and it was glorious?
Waka.
Oh.
And then Bronn says to him, "Men shit themselves when they die. Didn't they teach you that at fancy lad school?"
I learned that when I was 5. Oh my god.
Fancy lad school. I want somebody just to make a meme of
Fancy lad?
Yeah, in front of fancy lad school.
Fancy lad school.
Enter the dragon, the Dothraki screamers. Kirsten says, no horse would ever run into fire like that, ever. And I was like, a Dothraki horse would.
A Dothraki horse absolutely would.
And she said, no, they wouldn't. And I was like, probably a war horse would, too. I think that Sandor Clegane's thunder runs into fire in the books. They're trained to do that. She's like, it wouldn't happen. I was like, in a world.
In a world where there are dragons and magic. Did you say that to her? Please tell me. Yes. Did. Yes. Did she recognize it that it was hers?
She was not having it. She was not. She said, nope, no horse would ever do that. And I was like, okay.
Did she recognize that it was her line?
Yes, she knows that's her line.
Good.
Let's see. Yeah, man. I think that's everything that I've got. Yeah.
Oh.
Man.
Overall, I think one of the best episodes, not only of the season, but of the entire series. It definitely rivals Battle of the Bastards. I think that episode and that battle was amazing, and I think this one was bigger and well done.
Yeah.
And you know, it's only a fraction there of the Lannister army, right? That's not their whole army. People are telling me the Lannisters have no more army now. No. The majority of the army is with the gold, right? With all the carts of gold. There's no way.
The city. There's going to be a garrison inside the city.
This was just the men of who were collecting the harvest, really. And speaking of the harvest, you know, this is actually another thing I want to talk about.
Please.
Speaking of that harvest, Dany makes this comment to Tyrion or someone like, I can't feed my soldiers, but then she goes ahead and blows up.
Marches on its stomach.
She blows up all this grain and wheat and stuff like that.
Counterpoint.
She does now control the Reach.
There you go. So she controls the Reach. I thought that it was because I didn't catch what Randall Tarley said at the beginning.
Yeah.
I thought they were gold. And so Kirsten and I spent the beginning part of that scene talking about if the dragon melts the gold together, it just becomes one solid lump. So I was like, she hasn't lost any gold. She just has to like remelt it into coins.
Yeah. No, the gold all makes it. Yeah, the gold all makes it.
And now she can't feed her people, but they are in the Reach. So
yeah,
I think they only burned some of the wheat.
And you know, I was during my second rewatch, I was thinking about this. How did the Dothraki get off Dragonstone?
So like Tyrion says in the episode that they still have enough ships to take the Dothraki across the narrow sea.
But he says that after saying, "If you bring Grey Worm back."
Yeah, and are they going to march the Unsullied across? Oh, he does. So he's thinking of sailing around and picking them up.
My thought was that he says, the way I read that scene was that he says to Daenerys, he says, "Call Grey Worm back. We still have enough ships to sail the Dothraki to the barricade where we can barricade King's Landing." Right. And
in either case, they have enough ships to get.
Yeah. At some point, they have enough ships, right?
So that's how they get across the world there. And then, so based on the scenes for coming up next.
Yes.
What we've got Dany roaring and
bend the knee,
and
like, or you'll die
in front of
Jon.
In front of Jon. Yeah, you see Jon Snow, and the dragon is just like raw.
There's a meme about that in front.
What is it?
The meme is like Drogon is saying to Jon Snow, like, "You almost got my mother. You got me shot, and you almost got my mother killed." And then another picture is what he's really saying is, "You almost had sex with my mother in a cave, bastard."
That's right.
But so the next episode is called Eastwatch.
Right, and Bran sees an attack happening at Eastwatch.
Yep.
And Jon says this. the images are kind of jumbled, but
in the coming next, Jon is standing in Dragonstone.
Yep.
And he makes some comment. Bran saw a battle at Eastwatch. We have to go there or something like that.
So do you think he gets a dragon? He's got to get a dragon eventually, right?
Yeah. You think he rides a dragon?
Well, if he did ride a dragon, why isn't the dragon when he's back to back with Beric and the Hound and Jon Snow fighting in the Fist of the First Men?
Wasn't there a trailer with a fucking ice dragon? The whites with an ice dragon breathing blue fire? Was that a poster? Man. Was that a fan made poster? It might have been a good fake.
I've never seen it. A lot of stuff about dragons.
Anyway, tell us what you think is coming up next. Please. And
Jaime is a prisoner.
Yeah, Jaime's a prisoner.
Let's see.
I think so. Jaime's a prisoner.
He's not gonna drown.
Where does Arya go? What is she doing? What's happening at Winterfell during all this?
Okay, so if Eastwatch is getting attacked, does Winterfell march up to the wall?
No, I don't think so.
Isn't that their job as Starks?
You're right. But does Jon send a raven to Sansa and say, "Hey," or does Bran send a raven to Jon?
Be able to see it.
You think Bran sends a raven to Jon to tells him that, "Hey, I see this battle happening at Eastwatch.
Yeah.
You need to meet us there or something"? Or
in the show, just like you can make 1,000 ships overnight, you can also just like send a raven, and it's kind of like sending.
And we haven't seen. I mean, there's so
texting.
many.
It's like Bran just texted him with a raven.
Yeah.
And so he's like, boop boop boop, caw.
Yo, dude, hey, meet us at Eastwatch. We haven't seen the Hound or Beric in a while.
Yeah, so we're gonna see the Hound.
We still haven't seen the Beric Jedi scene.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's gonna be this next episode.
You think it's gonna be this next one?
Yeah, because they were all running down the mountain. You saw that like trailery.
She'll be running around the mountain when she comes.
This upturn of like a little stage.
Dude, that
ice.
song is about the White Walkers.
She'll be coming.
They'll be running down the mountain when they come. They'll be running down the mountain when they come.
Jorah?
They'll have a sword of fire and Azor Ahai will be there. They'll be running down the mountain when they come. Yes!
All men must drink, David.
I'm empty. All men must drink.
Ding. We're gonna see Jorah. We're gonna see Sam. We're gonna see Beric and the Hound. And
we haven't seen Sam in an episode. That's true. Yeah.
And Sam is gonna he forwards the plot. Sam is gonna be copying all those scrolls. He's gonna
see something. Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be like, this is why the cat's paw dagger is so important.
Boom. Doom. That's how you fill story holes. Sam is there to fill the story holes.
Sam
is
so
there
good
to
at filling the story hole.
No, that's Jon Snow's job. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to this awesome episode.
I'm really enjoying the show, Dave. I really am. We're halfway over with it.
I'm excited.
I'm sad about it.
I'm excited.
But we're having fun with it. I'm really enjoying it. And I like the communal nature. I like being on Twitter on Sunday night, after the episode ends and, reading all the funny things.
So you like being part of the in-crowd now.
Man. I'm part of the zeitgeist.
So I just want to let you know that for 5 seasons, you were out.
I hated it.
You were on the outside.
I still have a little bit of a prickle. Like I'm checking in with myself, and I still don't want to go back and watch that stuff.
When this season's over,
I think they made a mockery of it, but we are where we are.
When this season's over, before we get season 8, are you interested in doing a full rewatch, like from season 1?
No, not really. Maybe that'll change. Maybe I'll need something to fill up my time. Since we're not getting wins until 2019.
We're not getting wins until season 8 and the TV show are done. That's my theory, and it's true.
It's just not going to... And it doesn't matter because...
They're separate.
2 roads.
They're 2 roads. That's right. Speaking of 2 roads, we've got to take 2 roads now because...
Yeah. Time to go.
Oh,
programming note.
Yes.
The reason that we're cutting this short is I'm packing to go to...
Cutting this short? We're average. We're average right now.
Awesome.
I don't like being told I'm short, okay? Because I'm a grower, not a shower.
And you're a very tall dude.
Yes.
6 something.
I'm 6'2".
6'2". You're a tall gent.
But I wasn't talking about my height.
So I am going, if you guys want to meet in real life, if you want to do comic book conventions and you're in the Northeast area of the United States.
Go hang out with Tana. She's cool.
Go hang out, man.
Fire a
high
drink.
Fives. We've got Boston Comic Convention this weekend in Boston Seaport District. I'm at table P13.
P13.
Yeah, I've got a queer comics panel.
You know what that table is? That's the pie table.
P13?
Yeah, P13.
Hey, look at me
pie.
go.
You're a pie.
I'm at Pie.
You're at pie.
So come see me at the Pie table.
Yep.
And I'm doing a queer comics panel on Saturday at 5 in room 205A.
Nice.
And then I'm doing a sketch off on Sunday morning. Anyway.
Sketch off? What does that entail?
So 4 artists get together and like the audience throws out things that we're going to draw and we draw. And I think that there's like a projection thing so you can see what we're drawing on, in the room.
Uh-huh.
And one of my apprenticeship buddies, Corinne, is in the little group with us, with me. Mm-hmm. And so this is going to be sort of like a team reuniting, a coming home of my own.
Oh, you're acting like the Stark children. Yeah, just you probably won't be as moody.
That's right. I will be very moody. Actually, who's the most buoyant of all of the Stark children? I don't know. None of them. None. But yeah, so we've got the...
Rickon was.
Oh, God.
Zigzags. Okay, continue. Sorry. So after that...
Yeah, so...
sketch off and then...
So come out if you're in the Boston area this coming weekend. And then next weekend, August 20th-ish, like it's either the 19th and 20th or 20th and 21st, something like that. I'll be in the New York City area for FlameCon, which is New York's premier gay comic extravaganza.
Wow.
Yeah, and so come and find me. You can find me in real life, doing shows and selling art and talking comics and giving out high fives.
What's up with Duck?
Working away on it, man.
Okay, cool.
And if you guys...
drinking draws? You doing any more drinking draws?
Yes, but because there's so much traveling that was packed into this month, I haven't scheduled one for this month, but look for that in probably about 3 more weeks.
Yeah.
So
and because of all the traveling, our next podcast, unfortunately, is going to be a remote podcast.
Maybe it'll be fortunately. We could still... We've done one this way so far.
Yes. You'll have to email me the drink ahead of time so that I can go get supplies.
Yes. I also kind of know what you have in the house.
Yeah.
So I'll try to tailor it.
You checked my stock because I have no idea.
I dropped off some vodka today.
Did you really? Tana secretly planting alcohol in my house somewhere.
Someone's got to. Ladies and gentlemen.
Nerds and neckbeards, thanks for listening to this episode of Westeros Wheneverly, and we'll see you next week. All men
must drink.